Hello and welcome to Author series, and this is episode number 8. This is a very close to my heart series because it is one of the series where I did my first group book coaching, and all the 12 authors I have been interviewing them because I find them roaring legacies who have made a record of writing 12 books individually within the span of 2 months. And every time, as you see, that we are bringing interesting people on board and looking into their lives, and not only just lives, but also looking into behind the scenes where they are talking about their journey as a writer. And this time we have another special author. Okay, so if one thing the world needs to learn from this author is that how to own her truth. And if one thing, or if I had to give her a title in the group of 12 people, the title would be Shrivastava of the group, because she was the one who was doing things behind the scenes and surprised me every time. If I have to reveal one of her traits, which I look up to, it would be standing up for herself. And lastly, if I had to tell her something, it would be stay the same. So welcome, Archana, and your special book, Story Chose Me, a book which she rewrote thrice on. I just instructed, and all the work was from her side. So I was just telling her that this might not work, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. So welcome, Archana, on board to Author series, and thank you for sparing time and being here.
Thank you so much, Heena. You are giving such a wonderful words to me. Seriously, it surprised me a lot. Thank you so much.
It always came from heart for each one of you. Okay, Archana. So one thing, if I can see and look back at your journey of writing this first book, is that, there was a lot of resilience. First, you owned your truth, like you came to me with a very raw story, and you were the ease with you was that you were okay with it. And I have always being a coach, I never judge anybody that, uh, whether this story is raw or not, because we all have been there, we all do that. So it's nothing like, you are only doing that. But your ease surprised me, and that was very inspiring to me, that, being authentic about it. You you first of all owned it, and secondly there was a lot of resilience, because I firstly told you that, maybe you can take some time and, write it later. Although on face you told me that, okay, that's fine, but I didn't know that what you were doing behind the scenes, and, you were still on it. And that really surprised me when you came back to me and said, okay, here's the second version, and then again you came back and said that here's the third version. uh, and that was very inspiring. So where did you get this inspiration from?
It's totally from my parents. I mean, my father is a writer. He's a home writer actually. He did not write anything out, but whenever we used to have the school competitions, right? So he used to write to me and my sister, and we used to go present in the school. And even my second sister, she's also a very good writer. She still writes, but it will be like to home itself.
Okay, wow, that's something which I didn't know about, that your father is writing. Wow,
He's
that's
a very
wonderful.
good writer in Telugu. He writes very emotional and very proudly, like mainly on nation and all.
Wow.
Very patriotic.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. That's interesting. And no wonder that the kind of stories which you have picked up, although on surface they may look like, that might be everyone's story, but that has a lot of depth in that. And I guess that's coming from the heredity of your father being into so much of depth.
Yes.
That's
He,
one.
in short, if I have to say one word to my dad, he is rebellion.
Wow.
So seeing him got inspired, and from there, these are all the stories are real time stories.
Mm-hmm.
From one of the other experiences, I brought them into this one book, which is called Story Chose Me.
Oh, beautiful. So how did the title you come up with? Like, I remember that, we talked about so many titles, and it's okay that none of that clicked to you, because ultimately it is your mental baby. So you will be deciding. I'm just a hand holding person who is suggesting you, and your inside story when you bring out It's completely, and I feel very proud that if somebody is coming up with their own part also. So how did you come up with such a beautiful title? Was there a journey or somebody suggested, or what really happened?
Actually, I'm a kind of a person where I ask people to sing a song for me whenever I feel stressed.
Okay.
And if I don't get sleep, I ask them to tell me a story.
Oh, wow.
So, while I was writing this, then I remembered my childhood where my father used to read mythology books of Ramayana, Mahabharata, and a few other books also of mythology of Raghavendra Swami and various gods. So there I remembered that I go to my father or I go to my mother, I go to some other people to tell me stories. Then it came up, it got strike like, why can't I write this? Like it chose me. Not like I choose it. It chose me for writing all these real-time stories.
Wow. That's very inspiring and very beautiful when, especially when people take inspiration from normal life and, think about that and delve a bit deeper and, work on that. That's very inspirational to me. And in fact, that's one of the signs of going towards the betterment in writing is what I feel. That, if you can observe your surroundings and bring forth all those stories and, weave a garland of that, that's very beautiful. Wonderful, Archana. Uh, okay, Archana. So we are moving to the next round, which is a round of some questions which I'll be asking you, and you'll have to answer from your heart, as authentic as you are always. So looking forward for that. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. So Archana, describe your book in one line.
Story chose me.
Wow.
It chose me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Archana, who is your most favorite author or authors?
Actually speaking, I don't read much books. As of now, it's my father's.
Wow. And your favorite book?
Uh, Ramayanam of Sundar Chaitanya.
Oh, never heard of it. So is it in English, or like is it
In Telugu.
in Telugu? Okay. And do we have the English version online?
I don't.
Okay. Is it like pictorial or completely like a scriptural texts? Like,
Scripture itself.
okay.
Text.
Very interesting choice.
Thank you.
Okay, Archana. So let's get deeper into your journey of writing and consider this as a flashback to your writing days. What was the most scary or the most challenging part of your writing journey?
Most was to get the stories, because first when I thought of writing the book, then I thought like every stage of life from, I mean, before born, like from like 3 months of a fetus, then 4 months, then 5 months, then 6 months, then 9 months, then I thought like 1 year, second year, third year, like that I wanted to write. But later on, when I wanted to write, sit and write, I did not get those experience properly.
Hmm.
Since I'm still single, so I couldn't get those experiences, I couldn't understand those experiences properly, then it was challenging. And that was one challenge. And the second challenge was expanding the story. I'm kind of a person where I'll write only 1 line, 2 line, max to max 5 lines. And story means at least a page of 100 words, or else at least a 1.5 page, at least it should be. That was little bit challenge for me. But yes, later on, I have to, under your guidance, I just came up with the little more dialogues.
Wonderful, lovely. In fact, looking back at the guidance, I guess all the guidance which I gave you was apart from the sessions which we did for the group, like whatever wherever we connected personally, hardly we connected twice on calls, uh, and I personally think that till the time we are not in a proper setup, for me, that's my belief that I don't know how much learning I could give you for that, like how much guidance. So it was when you came with the second version, it was like wow. There was hardly any guidance, and all I did was just to randomly blabber that, this thing doesn't work, and this you have to. So it was kind of a blabbering which I was doing when I was telling you that, dialogues have to be this way. There was no written part, there was nothing, there was no rectification. I just said that, you first get your hands on creative writing a bit more, delve a bit deeper, and after that you surprised me, and literally that was very sweet surprise. So so regarding guidance, I seriously, I think that the ball is in your court always, because you have put your efforts for that. So wonderful for that. Actually, I learned a lot from you, that especially the resilience part.
Thank you, Ina. But you taught me a lot, because I believe in that silence teaches us many things.
Wow.
I seriously believe a lot in it. So your silence taught me many things rather than you speaking much. And your little one word, two words, seriously gave me many insights that it has to be enhanced in this way. Like, I still remember I wrote my first story, which was only 4 lines. You saw that. And you said, 4 lines ki story kahan pe rehti hai?
Yeah.
Then I remembered that you said me that you have to write dialogue writing in it, enhance it in such a way. Then I took the whole part, what happened in that situation. Then I wrote, recalled everything and I wrote it.
Wow.
That is how it went.
That's beautiful. In fact, I noticed one more thing, which I guess if that's not in your observation right now, please do consider that, because that is going to be another game changer for you. So when you said that, you were single and you did not have the kind of experiences which you were describing in the story, especially regarding maybe motherhood and all, again, people who actually, so there's this thing when there are certain advices online on writing, especially many authors say that, you go to the person. If you're writing about a doctor, go to the doctor and see how they're working. And when you observe them and write them, that comes very authentically, that comes very realistically. So if you're writing about a certain profession, if you're writing about a certain person, you want to talk about their personality, their working style, anything related to that, if you see that, if you go and experience that, that's altogether a different feeling. And when you said the same thing that, being single, I could not experience that, your inclination towards experiencing those things in real time, that again, changes the whole writing game altogether. Like making that effort to get into the mind of the character is what I feel.
True, very true, actually. Because I interviewed 4 to 5 mothers, but I couldn't understand that experience and those feelings which they were telling me. I seriously couldn't experience what they were undergoing, that happiness, that sadness, those cravings and all. So that is why I left that part. But later on, it just jumped in from age to age. And I really felt that these stories are going to help people to understand their kids in a lot more way, because they'll understand where insecurities are there, what kind of personality a kid will have, and what they are undergoing, at what age they have to know about something. All those things have been explained in the book. So I think it will help them to understand at what age what kids need. It will help them in that way.
Absolutely. Okay, Archana. So let's move to the happier question, which is, what part of writing excited you the most?
Each story of the book. It's seriously like that idea developing into a story is awesome. I used to tell stories to my students as a lecturer. Then I thought, like, those stories which were in the 4 walls, now it is entering the ocean.
Beautiful.
I just loved it.
Absolutely. So there's this quote that there's no other agony than holding a story within yourself, something like that. So when it comes out, I can, and I could see your excitement here and there, especially when I guess you were done with the book and you were doing the covers. And although leave about the aesthetics, we all learn with the design part and all. But the way you tried to make it happen, like putting all the elements that this is what is there in my story, that itself showed that, and you did not give up. I suggested that, I'm the kind of person who is like, I'm more better if I'm focused on just writing, and rest all works can be, divided into people for rather whatever it is, like cover designing, or if I don't put my much of the head into that. I hire people, or maybe, I hire freelancers to do that, and I pay them and get done with. But when I suggested that to you, you kept on kind of trying, let me come up with this cover, that cover, that got me going. I was like, this girl is not leaving hopes, and there is no chance that I am allowed to do that when my coachee is not doing that. And that got me going, and I kept on making other covers also. So again, the resilience was showing a lot. You might not have felt, but that's what I observed.
Actually, I didn't feel it.
Yeah, so that's right.
I am kind of a person where I want my things to be in my own way. So yeah, that's true. In that cover, it came out.
Beautiful. Okay, so Archana, what is that one limiting belief that you conquered during this journey of writing?
It's about writing books itself. I never thought I will write a book. In my lifetime, I never thought that I'll write a story. I said, right, every time I ask either to tell me a story, here I wrote a story. This is altogether a different game changer to me. So that is a belief that I conquered. While you don't even believe that until and unless I didn't get my book in my hands, I was not sure that I'll get my book done.
Oh.
Not even after publishing, after getting my book into my hands, then I felt like, something I achieved.
Wow.
I did something out of my plan, out of my thinking, completely different.
Wow. So you are kind of a visual person who needs to see the results before believing.
Yes.
Great.
Actually, the results get me more confident. I had a belief, but until and unless it doesn't touch and feel, I don't have. It is like not complete till 100%. There will be the 90%, 95% like that. But until and unless I don't have touch and feel, it won't be like 100% like that.
That's inspiring, actually. Okay, Archana, who was the most happiest person to see your book apart from you?
My mom and dad.
Wow. And I remember that you had a talk with me, and you said that it's your birthday month and you were planning to release it on birthday, but I guess it was not released on the birthday, but in the birthday month it got released, right?
Yes, I actually uploaded on my birthday. My sister's son birthday, and it got released on my birthday.
Okay, so you got it delivered on your birthday?
No, not delivered, but I just published and I ordered.
Wow.
I ordered on my birthday.
Wow. Lovely.
But by Diwali, I got it into my hands and I enjoyed a lot with Diwali.
So after that only, like when you got into your hands, then only you told your parents?
No, it was, in every stage I was writing, my parents were there with me, but they didn't know what stories I was writing. But for cover page, they were being back of me.
Wow.
They were, no, this is not good. This is right. This is not, it was not only my single effort, it was my parents' effort also that they helped me in that cover page.
That's very beautiful. That's very inspiring, actually. Okay, Archana. So we move to the next question, which is the last question of this round, which is what is your new empowering belief about writing now?
Actually, I wanted to write a new book on my journeys. I wanted to write before this interview. Somehow I couldn't complete it.
Oh, wow. So you're already into the second book writing.
I didn't get started, but ideas are there.
Wonderful. Super
Due
inspired.
to due to some other commitments, this has been postponed.
Okay. But I'm very sure again you will be a Chupa Rustam and one day you will be just like, boom, here's the book.
I love giving people shocks,
No, no, shocks nahi, beautiful surprises. These are.
surprises.
Okay, Archana. So we move on to the next part, which is the rapid fire part, which I call this or that. I'll give you two options. You have to choose one out of that, whatever you like. Okay, ready?
Daddy.
Okay. So Archana, writing or editing, what do you like more?
Writing.
Okay. And editing or marketing?
I love no editing.
Okay. Blog writing or story writing?
I don't know much difference, so I'll say AUR. Now, right now, I want to learn both.
Oh wow. Story writing or novel writing?
Story writing is better than novel writing, because novel writing, I need to write a big story on one thing that I can't do.
Yeah, but I'm very sure that soon this belief will also go for a toss, just like the one where you thought that, I cannot elaborate. And finally you did.
Yes, true. Possibly, yes.
Absolutely. Okay, Archana. So novel writing or non-fiction writing?
I'll say or right now.
Sorry?
I'll say both, or
Oh,
in
wow.
or you are.
Wonderful. Okay, what do you prefer to write? Thriller or romantic fiction?
Romantic fiction.
Mm-hmm. Uh, what do you like more, reading or writing?
Writing.
Okay. Journaling or story writing?
Actually speaking, since I wrote stories, I can say story writing. But
Mm-hmm.
journaling, I still don't understand.
All right. What would you prefer to write, mythology or crime fiction?
Mythology.
Uh-huh. Autobiography or self-help book?
I don't want both.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, want to learn more on writing while doing your second book, or you want to do it by yourself?
I want to learn.
Beautiful. And second book, you've already answered that second books or no books now. So we already know that there's one in the pipeline. So we are waiting.
Definitely, hopefully by next December.
Yeah, definitely take your time. There's no timeline for these things. It's creativity and you got to respect that. So absolutely all right.
Actually, I'm a traveling freak. So I went to many new places from my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it will definitely take time to dig all my childhood, those days, and how I felt, those photographs. I want to, this time I want to write my real time journey
Wow.
traveling.
Wow. Looking
So
forward for that. Wonderful.
thank you, Hina.
My pleasure. In fact, best wishes for that.
Actually, this is your inspiration. If you wouldn't have made me write this one book, I wouldn't have thought of writing journeys.
Wow. So I would come to the NLP part here. I did not make you write. You wrote the book. So you are not in the cause mode for sure, because cause mode is something where it is happening from outside, whereas I saw it totally the other way around. Like, in fact, I never pushed you because I just wanted you to be comfortable while doing that. Everybody, I never pushed anybody. You guys all came like, I want to write the book. Only thing was that if somebody is stuck in between, then I had to push them. Uh, but I did not push somebody who hadn't started and then they suddenly started. And that was a surprise to me. You were there. I guess Neeru and Pooja were also there. Like they came in the last, but yes, I was like, wow, these guys were also there. So wonderful that surprises were very beautiful. Okay, so that brings me to the last question, which you already know. So I guess you can answer before I question.
I would say both, Heena and WRITERNAAMA.
And I loved it that you remember this.
Because without Heena, there is no WRITERNAAMA. Without WRITERNAAMA, there is no Heena.
Yeah.
They both are interlinked and interconnected. One is heart, the other is soul.
Wow. Wow, that was deep. And I can see the writer in you blossoming here and there with these answers.
Thank you, Heena. To simplify it, Heena is the heart and WRITERNAAMA is the soul of the heart.
Wow, that's a beautiful analogy. And thank you for bringing that. I will always remember that. And you might see that in some of my content here and there. And I will definitely remember to share that with you. That see, I used it here.
It's very nice.
Okay, Archana. So, any message which you want to convey to the audience before we part ways?
One thing I would say is be with your kids. Don't let them feel alone. And time to time, see them like what they are undergoing. Because even after becoming 25, 30 years also, those inner child will be still alive in them. So just take care of them. And few times, please give wings to them so that they can fly. And few times, take care that those wings doesn't go out of the sky. Let them fly like an eagle, but with few things which you know accordingly what it is good to them and bad.
Wow.
What
That's a
else?
very deep message coming from such a young author. I guess you're the youngest one in the group. Wow, very beautiful and deep.
Thank you.
Great. So, this was Archana and her book. Don't forget to read her book. And I would love to see your book. We all are waiting for that. So, can you show us the book? Story Chose Me.
Just a second.
Yeah, sure.
This is it.
I guess you need to remove the background for that because, okay, yeah, it's visible. Wonderful. So, guys, go for that. The book might look like just another storybook or just another storybook next door, but it is not, trust me, because it has some insights, not just for people in general, but I guess even a parent can relate to that, even a child can relate to that, and especially teachers would also be able to relate to this. And what this book does, or what I would say that why this book stands out, is because it gives you something, and which is a question mark. It's a deeper reflection on how you are living your life and how you're moving ahead. So that might be a story on the superficial front, but there's a lot of saga which you can build up with your own reflection. If you it's just a kind of mirror, if you read the stories and especially attempt the questions which she has asked very poignantly over there. So go and read that. I will be sharing her link in the group in the description below the video, and her handles as well. You can reach out to her personally and talk to her heart to heart. As she's an author, you'll get a lot many insights for her upcoming books as well. So stay tuned, keep reading, keep attending these sessions, and thank you for being here. And we'll meet next time with next author. Thank you so much. And thank you, Archana, for sparing time and being here.
Thank you so much, Heena.